Hello, welcome back to Salvatore Performance and welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I'd give a sort of different format of a video. We get a lot of requests from customers and viewers asking us to do a behind the scenes, a day in the life of our operation and what we get up to. So I've been meaning to do one of these videos for quite a while, but it's always been quite difficult just because we're so busy that we've just never really had the time to pick up the camera and actually start recording and documenting what we get up to. But today presented the perfect opportunity because it's one of our more quieter days. But I'm going to use the word quiet very cautiously because although we're quiet, there's been a lot that's been going on. Currently it is 6:15 p.m. The afternoon and morning has just mainly consisted of replying to emails, customers, inquiries, phone calls, so on and so forth. And the evening now, where you join me, consists of a delivery to Wales and a collection from Wales, where we purchased a beautiful Porsche 911. So currently, you see me in this beautiful Range Rover Vogue. We have actually taken a deposit on this particular vehicle from a lady in Wales at the start of the week. And like with all our cars, what we tend to do is, before we do a handover, we like to see if the car needs anything doing, whether it needs a service, whether it needs an MOT, if it has any outstanding recalls, if there's any other items that it needs addressing, so on and so forth. This one in particular was actually recalled by Land Rover for a safety recall. As we all know, in the news, we've all been reading, Land Rovers are very prone to being stolen. So what Land Rover have done is have called all of their Range Rovers from 2018 onwards to do a security and safety update, which they've stated would help these cars not being stolen. So we've had it booked in at Land Rover Battersea, where I've just collected the car from not too long ago, and the customer is actually due to collect the vehicle tomorrow. But they're not, because yesterday myself and my colleague were in Wales yesterday looking at quite a few lovely performance cars, in particular two Porsche 911s, and to our pleasant surprise, the two 911s that we actually went to go and see were incredible examples of performance cars, and they're very well loved and cherished, that we ended up purchasing both. Good problem to have. And however, we could only bring one of them back. So what I did was actually called the customer asking is, instead of them taking a day off work, which is what she did, and getting someone to bring them all the way to London from Wales, I asked her if she would like us to bring the vehicle to her. Of course, that was music. That was music to her ears, and she absolutely loved the idea of that, and was very much appreciative of that. So what we're doing is, at the moment, we're on the M4 from London. I've been just stuck in non-stop traffic, but managed to finally just get out of the traffic. And I'm currently on the way to Newport, where we'll be delivering this particular Range Rover and then collecting the Porsche 911. So I will see you in our next clip when we're doing the handover and collecting the Porsche 911. Hello, welcome back. I'm with Chantel right now on the delivery of the Range Rover. It's your first drive, Chantel. How does it feel?
Outstanding, fabulous. Never drove a hybrid before, and it's yes, unbelievable.
Oh, fantastic. But I love the smile on your face. You're so concentrated. Because you're coming from a Range Rover Sport, the older generation.
That's right.
Well, I guess this is a Vogue, and also it's a new generation. Does the ride feel slightly different? Does it feel smoother?
Completely different, yeah. Smoother, quiet, much sharper braking.
Yeah.
Yeah, just unbelievable. Just feels like I'm in an aircraft.
And what about the comfort compared to the Sport and the Vogue?
Yeah, it's just another level. I think you can see why this is the top of the range. The Range Rover do. Yeah, it's certainly more high tech than the Sport. The Sport is lovely, but I think this is clearly on another level.
Well, it's the bigger brother, isn't it?
Yeah. It's absolutely stunning.
Oh, fantastic.
Very pleased.
And in terms of the experience with us, Chantal, just a couple of words.
Completely flawless, no issues at all.
Do you like the surprise of the phone call saying, actually, we'll bring it to you?
Well, the inconvenience of going up to London would have been our little boy off school as well, so we were all organising possibly having to come up, and they would have taken probably a full day to collect the car.
He probably isn't happy. He probably wanted a day out of school so to go to London.
Yeah, but it is tie day tomorrow because it's their last day, so I suppose it. But no, it's honestly, it's been a fantastic experience.
I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's everything brilliant. Top marks off me.
Oh, so, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you very much. No, it's been a brilliant experience.
No worries. So after the handover with Chantal on the Range Rover Vogue, this is the Porsche 911 that we've just picked up. This is 2011 911 991 Carrera. Absolutely beautiful, stunning example. And then we can jump on inside and I can tell you a bit more about our buying operation and how buying works at Salvatore Performance. As you've just seen, we've done the handover with Chantal on the Range Rover Vogue. Clearly she's ecstatic and over the moon, and it's genuinely so nice to see that car go to a good home where I definitely know it will be well cherished, well cared for, and well maintained over the coming years. And it's safe to say I don't think she has any intentions of letting that car go anytime soon. Now we're in the Porsche 911, just on the way back to London. I've got about 2.5 hour drive back, so I thought I would share with you all just some insight into our buying process. Because in our trade, the most difficult part is actually buying the car. It's finding the right stock, finding the right car that has the right service history, that has the right level of maintenance, and that has been loved over the years. Where we differentiate significantly from your mainstream dealers is a lot of dealers, it's very safe to say about 98% of dealers all buy from auction. The issue that I find with buying from auction is you don't know what you're buying. In most cases, you're buying blindly. So you're sitting at home, bidding on a car that you can't see, you can't view, you can't test drive, you can't touch, you can't feel, and more importantly, you can't hear. But you're buying it. And I find that very daunting, where you're paying £50,000 for something you can't physically touch, and hoping that when it arrives it comes with no issues, which in a lot of cases is definitely not the case. In a lot of cases it comes with a whole load of issues, but that's another discussion. So where we differentiate is we try to buy all our cars from private owners, individuals that have owned that vehicle. This has a ton of advantages. It allows us to meet the person who owns the car, test drive it, inspect it, feel it, look around it in person, and more importantly, run a diagnostics on the car before making any payment or buying or taking anything to stock. I can't buy a car online through auction without seeing it and have that same confidence in selling that car as much as I can going to view a car, meeting the person who's owned it, and when I have a prospective buyer for the car, actually showing that passion to them, showing to them where this car has come from. So, the advantages are considerable buying the way we are. But of course, you may ask, why do other dealers not do it? Well, it's very clear. A lot of people, unfortunately in our trade, they're in it for the money. Safe to say, not to say profit and money is a bad thing. The problem that we face is when you buy privately, you are not buying it at the trade value that the car you would buy in the trade as you would in auction. You're paying more for it. So for us, that's okay, because for us, relationships and building rapport with clientele over a number of years is far more important to us than just earning quick money in one car. So I would rather not make anywhere near as much in a car, but know that the car that I've sold, I've got full confidence in it, and I know if somebody that I've dealt with has had a good experience with one car. In 2 years' time, in a year's time, they would come back to me. They would trade that car back to me and buy something else. And it's happened many a times in the past for me, where we've sold cars, we get contacted by the seller, by the buyer who's bought the car, a year later saying, hey, I would like to sell it and get something else. We recently had it with a Porsche 911 Targa, where we sold it to a gentleman in 2023 last year. He'd owned it for a year, called us asking us that he would like to now buy a Ferrari. So it happens, and for us that's far more important than just making money in the short term. And for us, having, as I've said, having a good relationship, we value that. Having a good relationship with customers, we value that far greater than money. And unfortunately, this is where a lot of dealers have gone wrong in their sort of values and ethics, because they don't value that, which is why we like to take a lot of pride. So we travel far and wide. As you've seen today, I've been in Wales. I was here yesterday to look at this car and another 911, and then I'm back today. So we travel far and wide, to anywhere from Cornwall to Scotland to the Scottish Highlands, you name it. But for the right car, we're willing to make that journey, because it's very important. For us, it's very important. Every car that we sell, it's our brand, it's our reputation that's on the line. So we just want to make sure that every single car that we have, we would own. And that's one principle I live by. I buy a car with the mentality, would I own this car? Would I keep this car? If that's a yes, I would buy it. If that's a no, and if I wouldn't keep it, I wouldn't want to sell it on to anyone else. So that's where we differentiate mainly. I thought I'd give you a bit of insight. I was trying to get the seller on the camera, but he didn't feel comfortable being on camera and being on YouTube, as not a lot of people are. But yeah, the evening is coming to a close. As I've said, got 2.5 hours to drive back, and then, as they say, restart all of this again tomorrow. Have a good evening. Take care.